Welcome to the first round of the inaugural Core Group C Championship here at sunny Daytona. This championship consists of 4 manufacturers: Mazda, Nissan, Sauber, Mercedes and Toyota. A field average of 976 horsepower per ton makes this the most powerful class ever produced by Core. We join the cars in the parade lap as they pass through the second of 2 horseshoe corners. There's no doubt that the drivers have a challenging race ahead of them. As the field heads out onto the banking, it's time to review the grid from qualifying. With a stunning time of 1:26.556, Chozza's Toyota was the class of the field in qualifying, with Memto's Sauber the only other car to dip under the 27s. Team Mazda made a very strong showing, locking out the second row of the grid, Olith beating his teammate by almost half a second. In 5th is Johnny Beer in the first of the Nissans. 4 manufacturers in the first 5 grid spots, a testament to the balanced performance. 6th and 7th the remaining Saubers, and the final legacies of the Core WEC series rounding out the sub 1 minute 30 laps. Core newcomer David B taking 8th in the second of the Toyotas, with teammate Widthrop just behind, followed by the second Nissan of Sig and Adam in the final Mazda, 8th to 11th being split by just under 0.2 of a second. Finally, Boy Wonder rounds out the grid in the last Minolta car, meaning Toyota the only manufacturer represented at full strength today. We rejoin the field, passing through NASCAR Turn 2 in double file, waiting for the flag. 2 hours of racing stands before our drivers. They make their final effort to warm the tyres for the start. Round 1 of the Core Group C Championship is about to commence. And they're green! Chozza's Toyota bolting early in an effort to hold on to his lead into Turn 1. Further back, Plux's Mazda has had a very poor start, falling to 7th behind Nin's Sauber. Zovomir outbrakes himself and slides into the wall on the outside, causing a ripple of collisions behind, unfortunately losing control as he rejoins the track and T-boning Boy Wonder's car after he had successfully avoided the crashes ahead of him. Misfortune for the silver cars continuing as Memto has a similar incident into Turn 6, fortunately avoiding the wall, dropping him behind all the cars that survived Turn 1 without damage. Plux the Duck, eager to make up ground lost at the start, repasses Nin to regroup with his teammate. Chozza, meanwhile, has capitalised on the first lap dramas and built a comfortable lead out onto the bank. Johnny has had an excellent start, moving from 5th to 2nd. However, as they approach the chicane, it's clear that the Mazdas are reeling him in. The lead cars pass cleanly through the difficult high-speed bus stop, throwing dust everywhere as they go, 2nd to 5th running line astern. Johnny just holding on to the 2nd as they finish the first lap. However, the Nissan is simply outpaced by the Mazdas and he loses 2 positions into Turn 1. A slide from Plux causes Johnny to lift briefly on the exit, giving Nin the run on the inside into Turn 4, but the Nissan holds on to the wide line, beating the Sauber out of the corner. Johnny, running very deep into the second horseshoe, almost provides another opportunity, but a big slide from Nin finally gives the Nissan some breathing space. As they again head on to the banking, it's Toyota from Mazda, from Mazda, from Nissan, from Sauber. To prevent Chozza running away with the lead, the Mazda teammates switch places, Olith not fighting the now faster Plux as the rotaries scream through the bus stop. Further back, Memto is taking no prisoners as he drafts up behind Widthrop for 6th, having already passed the other Toyota of David B. Pulling a definitive move into the chicane and going 2 wheels onto the grass in the exit, it's clear he's pulling out all the stops to get back up with the leaders. Just as things seem to be settling down, suddenly more drama shakes up the order. Olith Gal makes a mistake on the exit of the bus stop and has heavy contact with the wall, Johnny and Nin just managing to find space around the damaged car. However, seconds behind, Memto is not so lucky, having a massive accident as backmarker Boy Wonder loses control of his damaged Toyota and spears up the banking. It's not all over for Sauber though, as Nin is right on Johnny's tail again, pulling out of the draft end of Turn 1 side by side, a slightly too heavy right foot costing him a chance of going around the outside. The Nissan demonstrating better traction out of the low-speed corners, keeping the Sauber at bay into the chicane, but Nin gets another run into Turn 1, again being forced high onto the outside. A misjudgment of the extra speed gained in the draft sent him into the tyre barrier, finally releasing the pressure from Johnny's shoulders. As one Sauber falls, another is on the rise. After his first lap incident, Zovermeer has been working his way back through the field, capitalising on a small mistake by Adam to take 9th and 3 to pursue Olaf, who has fallen to 8th. Back at the front, Plux's charge finally pays off as Chozza makes a mistake into the chicane, sliding off the road but managing to escape damage. His excursion not only passes the lead to the Mazda, but also allows Johnny's Nissan to take 2nd. A mistake by Sig nearly spells catastrophe for the leaders, however heads-up driving by the Nissan number 2 allows them to pass safely. Clever tactics during the first round of scheduled pit stops allowed Chozza's Toyota to pass Johnny with the undercut. However, Plux has built up enough of a lead that when he finally comes in on lap 12, he manages to just beat the Toyota into turn 4. In an almost perfect replica of his incident with Memto, Boy Wonder has another surge up the banking. This time it's Zovermeer who's forced to make a pit stop for repairs. The battle for the lead is still raging, Chozza working the draft to get around the Mazda into the bus stop. However, a mistake causes a heart-stopping moment that somehow both cars survive, but the damage is done. Johnny makes use of the extra speed he carries out of the chicane to breeze past the Toyota on the straight. His early stop meaning Chozza simply has no answer to the Nissan speed through the infield. Despite their misfortune, the Saubers of Memto and Ninjin are running together in 4th and 5th, thanks to running longer stints on their tyres. However, the fatigue starts to show as first Memto has a spectacular spin, followed 1 lap later by Nin, handing 4th to Olaf and 6th to David B. Ninjin is just about holding onto the tail of the Mazda before a final definitive blow ends his pursuit. However, the drama is not limited to the Sauber team, as race leader Plux the Duck loses the rear end onto the banking, gift-wrapping the lead for Johnny. The favour was soon returned, however, as Chozza had another off through the chicane, but this time didn't come out so lucky, giving him heavy front suspension damage and Plux 2nd. None of the drivers seemed immune from the mid-race fatigue, Johnny receiving damage as he ran into the pit wall, leading to a dramatic slide through the chicane, allowing Plux to make up precious time over the course of the stint. Lappery proved difficult as drivers struggled to predict the actions of others, both Johnny and soon after Memto failing to anticipate Zovermeer's speed through turn 1, the latter incident causing significant damage. Turn 7 continued to be the surprise of the race, Memto adding his name to the rapidly growing list of drivers getting to know the barrier after unexpected wheel spin. The bottom of the second hour proved to be significant. For the first time during a stint, Johnny failed to take the lead from Plux, the Nissan having no answer to Mazda's straight-line speed and confirming Plux was now their favourite for the win. However, it wasn't all going Mazda's way. While trying to keep ahead of Memto, Olaf spins on the exit of turn 3, receiving damage and allowing the Sauber through. Having fueled heavily the stop before, Johnny has a very quick final stop, allowing him to leapfrog the Mazda in the pits and giving him a 5-second advantage with 9 laps to go. Knowing that there is no other option but to give chase, Plux gives it everything. Let's ride on board as he sets the fastest lap of the race. In the end, it's too much. Plux can smell blood in the water and Johnny simply has nothing else to give as he's caught and passed with only 3 laps to go. It's a well-deserved victory for Plux. His ability to combine longer stints with competitive pace meant it was his race for the taking. However, with a grid as competitive as this, it was never going to be easy, and many others fell where he didn't. With lights ablaze, he takes the checkered flag. Let's look at the classification. After 2 hours of hard racing, less than 5 seconds separate first and second, with Memto being the only other car to finish on the lead lap. However, avoidable contact penalties for both the third and fourth place cars meant it all came down to a pit line infraction that cost Sauber a podium by just 1 second. 3 laps down, David B brought home the first of the Toyotas after a fairly quiet race, being promoted to 5th after Zovermir also received avoidable contact penalties. Widfow, another 3 laps behind them in the second Toyota, and Ninchin managed to bring home the third Sauber, earning them the accolade of most classified cars. 4 cars failed to finish, Choza, Sig and Boy Wonder simply finding the fatigue getting the best of them, while Adam fell victim to network issues. As we take a look at the points, Plux has amassed an impressive lead, taking not only the win, but also bonus points for the most laps led and fastest lap. Choza is also worth mention, his pole position earning him points even though he failed to finish. In the manufacturer's standing, it's no surprise to see Mazda out in front. Impressively though, Nissan and Toyota are tied despite Toyota having double the number of starters. It's certainly still all to play for. Join us at Le Mans on December the 21st for round 2.